People living in third world countries, what is something that is a part of your everyday life that people in first world countries would not understand, cope with?
I walk with my cell phone hidden in my pants because it's extremely common for you to get robbed. I've been through a violent robbery at Denning, and very few people I know haven't been through similar experiences, multiple times even. I always carry two cell phones with me. One is my real cell phone. I hide it in my backpack. If I don't carry the backpack, then in one of my socks. Lol. I carry the other cell phone in my pocket. It is useless. It broke 5 years ago and has no repair. If someone tried to rob me, I would give them the fake cell phone. I learned this trick from a friend. A gang member tried to rob him. He told him to give him his cell phone, so he took out his fake cell phone and threw it as far as he could. The gang member went after the cell phone, and my friend used that moment to run. The gang member realized what was happening, but it was too late. My friend managed to get to a store with security guards, where they helped him and called the police. Egypt here, crossing the street is some kind of a sick sport. 4 mega internet speed is like the fastest internet connection in Venezuela. Gated villages with security guards, where houses inside are gated as well with high fences and barbs. This is common even in lower class communities. Our malls have security checks when you enter. 99% of establishments have security checks when you enter. Train stations have airport-like security checks. Not really, but attempted concept. Train stations have airport-like security checks. Not really, but attempted concept. Again, not effective, just nuisance. Airport immigration. Our own citizens need to pass through our own human-attended immigration when departing from our country. We have a chance of being not allowed to exit, even if we are legally allowed to do so. No crimes committed, not like fleeing. The rationale is that when the immigration officer felt that we are going to look for work abroad, even if it's legal to do so in the destination country, if the immigration officer felt that the woman would be meeting her boyfriend abroad, if the immigration officer felt that the person looks like a human trafficking candidate, if we secured a permit and visa to work abroad, meaning we are legally allowed to work in a certain country, we will need to obtain a different clearance to exit to work abroad from our country, which is another level of tedious red tape. Sometimes this really puts off foreign employers, so we end up losing our offer anyway, thanks to my country. Edit, yes, this is the Philippines. I live in a small, very remote, fly-in, fly-out community in the Canadian Arctic. Because of the permafrost and ridiculous winters, water couldn't be piped to houses or buildings. Instead, each house had a water tank, and water trucks would drive around every day and fill them up. It was all fine and good as long as you didn't use more water than normal. Have a few friends over, run out of water. Cook a holiday meal, run out of water. Try to catch up on the laundry you've been neglecting, run out of water. The worst was body. Imagine 20-30 drunk people in a house with one bathroom, and the water suddenly runs out. Toilet no longer flushes, but everybody still has to pee, so they just keep pissing in the toilet without flushing. Fills up damn quick and stinks. Game over if anyone takes a dump, but that's just the way it was. Armed security people go to the bank. 2 guys holding AR-15 at the entrance. The beer delivery truck, guy with a shotgun. Whenever there is money involved, there will be guys holding big guns. I've been pointed twice while walking on the wrong side of the street. Realizing that my money and any more I could make is worth 5 times less now. Welcome to Lebanon. I get you, man, inflation in Argentina was 42% in July. In other countries they don't even know what inflation means. Having a shit ton of deterrence mechanisms around your house, burglar bars on all the windows, trellis doors on your front door, and then probably one in the bedroom hallway, keeping your door locked. If you don't have a fence, you're just asking people to break in and murder you. South Africa. I used to wake up to sounds of heavy artillery. Now to the sounds of Blue Jays of Toronto. Can't be more grateful. Such dramatic turn of events. Edit, birds of course. That's quite the turnaround. Where did you leave? Afghanistan. Here in Peru, especially if you are not from the capital, to get a medical appointment you need to wait 3 months. For surgeries or actual medical treatment, it can take over a year. So many people and you got random appointment just in case something happens. You'd better suffer the hemorrhage that day or you have to pray for the eucalyptus tea to actually work. Thank goodness I was able to move to the capital some years ago. What happens to most people in medical emergencies? People injured in accidents or who had a heart attack. For those cases there is a cost, which is huge. By law, the hospital will accept the patient, but after the first aid has been given, the family has to sign documents where they commit to pay the totality of the cost. This is why many people in provinces in Peru die young. Families can afford to pay medical treatments. In Lima, the capital, is different. There are enough ICU for those cases and costs of public hospitals are lower. However, you still have to wait 2-3 months to get an appointment. The system still works bad in any part of the country. I'm a girl living in Brazil, living in constant fear for my safety every time I leave the house is exhausting. As a South African girl, I feel the same. In Argentina, the price of everything raises almost every day. Argentina here, you just go to the store expecting everything to be 5-10% more than the last time you went. How do you cope with that? Is it possible to put assets into other currencies or otherwise reduce the currency volatility? You just don't buy stuff. You buy food and a few things more. For example, my family goes to the supermarket and we buy food for the whole month. It ends up being cheaper than just buying it over time. One aspect of living in a first world country is that it's normal for things to work. In third world countries, it's the opposite. Technology, roads, institutions, there's a tacit assumption that none of these things work the way they're supposed to, and that's just the way it is. When you live in the third world, your roads are full of potholes, your lights go out every week, if not every day. Everything is on the fritz and politicians are incredibly corrupt. And yes, I know that there is corruption in Europe, in the US as well, but it's not like our corruption. Stray dogs, which some of them are hostile, are everywhere. It is not possible to roam in the streets around sunrise when they walk in groups of during night without risking yourself being attacked by dogs. I moved to Europe now, but I'm still unreasonably nervous around leashed dogs that people walking. I'm American but have worked in 70+ countries over the last 12 years, so let's discuss Nicaragua. There are no addresses. None. Trying to get to your hotel, you'll get a description of the general location using the rising or setting sun, lake shores and other prominent landmarks which may or may not exist. Then the distance from that landmark in a unit of measurement that hasn't been used for centuries. It's truly amazing that anyone gets anywhere in Nicaragua. I'm Nicaraguan, so when I went to do my master's in the United States, I couldn't understand why the address of the house I was living was so short. I asked my roommate, hey, don't you have to put that we live across from the library and say house is wide and in a corner? And she was like, huh? In Lebanon, a loud boom can literally be anything including an Israel attack, ammonium nitrate. The airport was bombed. The electricity company was bombed. Aftershock from plane that just bombed us. Sonic boom right after a bombing or chemical explosion.
A bomb planted in a car for an assassination. We've had over 12 in the past 20 years alone. Our neighbor Abu Ali loading up his RPG to celebrate the birth of his new son. Our neighbor Abu Ali shooting his RPG because his son passed his exams. Our neighbor Abu Ali shooting his RPG because Ali died from bullets they shot when his cousin was getting edited for clarity. Edit to, holy moly, this both blew up too.
We only get running water twice a week, so you have to have a tank full of water in the backyard for the rest of the week. You have to ask if they have bread at the bakery. Everyone has a gun, they are not legal. Metal bars on windows and doors for safety. If you get robbed, the probabilities of the thief being a cop are high. People pay criminals to find missing people. Underage drinking is normal. I bought bottles of alcohol many times while in high school and no one cared. 9 times out of 10 you have to go to the neighboring country to buy medicine. You have to give your kids the vaccines that are required by the time they are 11 or they won't go from the 6th to the 7th grade. I don't know if they still do this though. Have to hide your phone in your pants when going out. You can only buy 120 liters of gasoline monthly in the national currency. If you want to buy more, you have to pay $30+, even though most people in the country don't get paid in dollars.
Thanks a lot for watching and don't forget to watch other videos.